Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today, as I'm always excited to be here because I'm doing budgeting and this is what I love and I love talking about it. So I'm just jumping right in. This is my monthly overview calendar. These are my personal budget sheets that I sell in my Etsy store. It's Lisa's Faith Budget Plan in Etsy. And yeah, I really love this design. It is just, it's winter, it's cute, it's got pops of gold, it's blues, and I just thought it looked beautiful. And they're up in my shop, so if you're looking for budget sheets for January, they're already up there. I'm actually getting ready, or may have already posted or put in the February budget sheets, which I have a release video for that as well. But today, right now, we're doing paycheck to paycheck budgeting. My first step in budgeting, and I recorded this already in a previous budgeting video, is my first step is always laying out my bills on my calendar and laying down when my paydays are. Or I should say my husband paydays are. I don't actually put my paydays in here because my income that I get from my Etsy store pretty much pays for my advertising cost right now, which is fine. I'm happy with that, and I'm growing it, and I'm growing it slow, but it's working and it's good, and I am happy. So as long as I'm loving it and not really putting a lot of cost into it, I'm going to keep doing these budget sheets and hopefully add new products. We'll see. I'm working on that. But I have all my bills down. I have the income, I have the savings, and this is step one. Step two, or step one, part two, however you want to look at it, is the monthly budget written out. All your total income and all your total expenses. And the reason I do this, step two, or step one, part two, whatever you want to call it, is to make sure every expense that I have to have come out, including my spending categories for grocery, household, restaurants, miscellaneous, and gasoline, is less than how much income I'm bringing in or predicted to bring in. As you can see, I've got little notes here, and I'll get into that another day. So this is my next step. The next step after that is the paycheck to paycheck budgeting. Here's paycheck one. I should only need one sheet. If not, I will add a second sheet and it'll be okay. Paycheck two, because I had three, if you looked on my calendar, three paydays listed, and then paycheck three. Now, usually these are enough. These pages are enough for 1 month or one paycheck period, but except for Christmas. And it was because I had a lot of spending going on at Christmas, and it was all in budgeted items, and that's how I paid for my Christmas in cash. So that's kind of how that happened. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and zoom you guys closer in, and we're going to fill out my paycheck one for the month of January. Now this paycheck one is for the dates from, actually, I started December 30th to January 7th. And the reason I did it a couple of days before January was because I closed out my budget for December on the 29th. And anything I spent after I closed out, actually I closed out on the 30th, but it was the morning of the 30th, the afternoon I spent, so I just counted it towards the January budget. So, and that's the cool thing about budgeting. You can start, even though it's mostly January, the previous month before and carry it over. As long as you date it and account for the expenses and the income properly, it doesn't matter. As long as the money's there, you can do it and just carry it over month to month. So here we go. I'm going to zoom you guys in and we're going to start filling this out. So I'll be right back. So what I love about printing my own budget sheets, selling my own budget sheets that are printables, PDFs in the Etsy store, again, that's Lisa's Faith Budget Plan, is the flexibility you have. You can punch it however you want to fit whatever notebook system you want or have. You can shrink these down with your own printer and make them the size you want and trim the paper to fit your own planner. There's so much versatility in this. It's you know, you can do whatever you want, and I love it. And if you like matching sheets like I do every month, then you already have the decorative part of what I call like the washi print on the top and the similar colors throughout the pages. So yeah, I just love it. I really enjoy budgeting this way. It helps me to come back to budget and fill it out. So we're going to jump right in, and I thought I had notes on this. Yeah, I do have notes on this. So I'm gonna put my notes off to the side here. So much to write in so little time. I only have 4 income spaces. Normally in the paycheck 1 period, you would only have 1 or 2, 3 things come through. We actually have 4 things that come through. Plus January of 2021, they passed that stimulus. We were qualified for the stimulus. And so $600 for 3 people. We are a 4-person household, almost all adults, but me, my husband, and my 16-year-old qualified for the $600 stimulus. My 22-year-old did not because he is autistic, and I actually count him as a dependent on our tax return. Well, just that little faux pas there, because he doesn't pay his own taxes, he doesn't have to pay taxes. I just kind of include him in ours because he lives in our household. And he's a dependent of ours. He didn't qualify to get any kind of stimulus relief. And a lot of people complained about it, but I don't understand the rules behind it because he actually only gets security and supplemental security income, SSI, which is for his disability because he can't work. And it's a government check, which we're fine with. We really didn't need the extra money, as you're going to see. It's just only 3 of us got it. So I have our balance forward. I have our retirement military check for my husband's VA disability check and his VA education check. I'm actually going to write that as one part right here. And then my son's rent out of his SSI, and then the stimulus check. So I'm going to fill this income section out, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So this is what we have. So let's total up. Let me get my calculator here. Our totals here. Now I put the same thing in both columns because I'm doing this a few days later. Normally you would budget it before what you think it's going to be, but December and New Year's and January just snuck up on me and I didn't get to do the budget part. So I did the budget and actual the same as far as the income goes. And what I had balanced forward from December going into January was $568.30. If I combine, because I combined my husband's VA disability, VA education, and military retirement benefits all into one amount, so I can use all these lines. That was the total for all 3 of those. Rent was my son's rent plus 7 cents for dividends in our checking account. And then stimulus from the government was $1,800 for the 3 of us, and that was what was deposited. So let's total all this up. $7,511. And zero, wow, even number. So that's what we're looking at here. So that's a lot of money. Still not sure what we're doing with a lot of it. I do know my husband wants his Jeep lifted, and that $1,800 is the same amount as we have in our savings account from his past VA education benefit deposits. And so he's definitely going to be scheduling that soon. So we'll see. And here we go. I'm just going to put lines through here because nothing was over. They're exactly the same. So as far as spending for the paycheck 1, what I have going on, and I'm going to have to scoot this up just a little bit so you can keep seeing me right here. And the first thing we have is our mortgage. And it hasn't come out yet. It normally comes out on the 1st, but because New Year's Eve is the 1st and New Year's Day is the 1st and it's a holiday, the banks aren't really doing anything, though the banks did give us our stimulus check. So on the 1st, I don't know why they can't take out the mortgage, but that's okay. So we're gonna have our mortgage taken out probably on Monday or Tuesday of next week. $1980.06 is our mortgage payment. That includes the principal, interest, homeowners insurance, and property taxes, escrow. The next thing is my husband's personal money. Sorry, I'm getting a little sloppy there. Visa Go card, and it's just $100. And this is for him to spend on whatever he wants, even though he's been saving up for this lift for his Jeep for quite a while. This is also for odds and ends stuff that he would want. A little Amazon purchase here or there and things like that. He loves to spend money, but he has to keep it in control. Helping Hands. Is a tithing to our church. It's a ministry in our church to help people if they need things purchased, or if they need money to add, because they don't have enough rent money, or even a mortgage amount for that month, and they need a little help with that, or groceries or diapers or whatever they need. There we go. So we like to give to that and support our church and our community around us, and that's part of that. Greater Europe Missions. Now, Helping Hands is tithed out of VA disability, where my husband gets a disability check every month. And then he also gets a military retirement check. And we tithe that to, I said it backwards. Helping Hands comes out of the military retirement. That's tithing for the military retirement check. Greater Europe Missions is another charity, and I just love the couple that we just sent to Germany. I'm excited for them. They're doing this great, amazing work over there. They just got there, so they haven't really done a whole lot yet, but they're getting settled in, and we give them a donation every month to help support them to live there and work in the community and help the neighbors and take care of the neighbors and just be the hands and feet of Christ. So I'm really excited about that program. I'm excited to hear what their adventures are going to be, and their little boy Eli, and I'm just so excited. So Greater Europe Missions, they're over in Europe right now, and we donate that and tithe the VA disability check to them. Amazon Music is my husband's subscription. And that's $7.99, and he absolutely loves it. Part of our entertainment is CBS All Access, and that's $5.99 a month. Let's see what else. Humana Health. So Humana is my oldest son's health insurance. For him to continue with the military doctors or military treatment facilities with TRICARE Prime. This is what we pay for him to get covered under insurance. He aged out of my husband's retirement benefits, so we do TRICARE Young Adult, and that works very well for us. It's still cheaper than any other program that we know right now, so we're good with that. And that's his rent actually covers his rent up here that he pays. Most of that just goes straight to that, so that's fine. And then the leftovers we just kind of keep and put it towards all the different mortgage, and not very much goes to the house, utilities and things like that. But that's the intention of charging rent. So, but as long as he can pay his insurance, that's all I really care about right now. Natural gas this month went up because it's cold. And that was $99.56. And that's the actual amount for this for this monthly cycle. AMCO. So we have an AMCO credit card. Yes, Dave Ramsey hates credit cards. We don't like them either, but we do use them and pay them off. We use one for car maintenance, but we still cash flow everything car maintenance that we have on it. So my husband went and got an oil change, and then he had something with his car that was welded, like a heat shield or something, and it came loose, and so it was making this horrible rattle noise. I'm like, honey, just go get it fixed. And he has a Jeep Wrangler, so Lord only knows what that was all about. And so they did the oil change and fixed that, and it was $134.68. So instead of paying it immediately with cash, we knew we could put it in the budget for this month. And we went ahead and put it on the card and then the budget, and then paid for it. You know, we're going to pay for it right away when it's due on paycheck 1. Now, when the credit card statement comes in, it's going to say we only have to pay like $20 or $30 or whatever, but we always pay it off every time we get it. It shows activity on the card. Hopefully it keeps the credit score going up or staying at a good level, because in the future, if we happen to sell the house we're in and move to another house, then we're going to need to have a decent credit score for the next house when we buy it. So that's the reason it's important for us to have a credit score, even though we do agree with Dave that we should not have to have credit cards in order to survive in today's world. But today's world wants us to live in a deficit, not in a surplus. So I don't know. Anyways, that's my rant for the day. So these here, I'm going to fill out grocery, household, restaurants, miscellaneous, and gasoline. So grocery. I have for the budget for paycheck 1 for $300. Restaurants. $200 for this paycheck, and this is for the dates of the 30th. Let me write this up here. The 30th of December through the 7th of January. That's what we're working with. And we're already on, so the 30th, 31st, 1st, and 2nd. So we're 4 days into this budget. And that's why it's late. Hold on a second, I can't spell miscellaneous. All right, miscellaneous, which I've already blown through. $150. And then gasoline. And you'll see what I spent in my weekly check-in. So I will save that for the weekly check-in. $62.50. We have not bought gas yet, so we're good to go there. And so this is what we're spending. Now, we have plenty of money in the account. Obviously, $7,500 is quite a bit amount. I don't see or foresee that if we're over budget anywhere that's going to be impacted very much. So let's see how much total expenses I did budget. Okay, so in total, let me pull my budget sheet up here so I can show you the bottom. In total, our expenses were $3,931.53. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this number, make it a negative, and add, hopefully I did this right, 7,511. There we go. So, yep. And my notes say I'm correct. So we have left over $3,579.47. Okay, so what I do know with this leftover money, and I'm going to zoom you guys out because you've seen everything. Just so 1 second. Okay, so this is our paycheck 1. Now I know there's $3,579.47 left in the budget, and a lot of that is going to go to my husband's Jeep lift. The $1,800 here that we put from the stimulus equals the amount that he had in savings. So basically I'm saying the stimulus check is already in savings, and I'm just going to leave that. I'm saving the stimulus check for right now, unless the Lord says otherwise of what to do with it. And we keep praying, but he hasn't said anything yet. So I think he's waiting for something special. And then it's as if I transferred the $1,800 that he would have had in savings back into checking, and now this is considered the Jeep lift fund that we already had in savings. We swapped those titles. And then plus I'm not remembering exactly how much the VA education deposit was, but I believe it was $624 and some change, if I'm not mistaken. So that, not $824 and some change. So that $824 plus the $1,800, all that combined is what he was saving for the Jeep lift. Now, was it involved in a Jeep lift? It's a Jeep Wrangler. He wants to lift it a couple inches off the ground. He's not buying new tires, but it needs new shocks and other things underneath the, underneath whatever, you know, underneath the car. And it's been a dream of his for a number of years now, and we're in a good financial place, and this is kind of a reward for him. I'm living my dream doing these videos, talking about budgeting, sharing with you, having my own Etsy store, and I spend money on that. My spending is small increments every month, doing this and building my brand and building my business. He, on the other hand, likes these things. He likes knives, he likes machinery and cars and stuff. And he buys them a big item all at once. So that's what he's going to do. I think the last time he spent something big, it was a canoe, and he researched it for a long time before he bought it. So I think it's awesome. I think it's great that he's doing that. I don't get the practicality. I don't think it's practical to lift a Jeep. I don't know if I'm able to even climb into it, but he's dreamed of it. He wants to do it. He's a car guy. He's a Mopar guy. If you know anything about those two things, you know what I'm talking about. So, and I think that's great that we're in a place in our budget and our relationship that even though something may not make sense to me on something I would spend money on, but we're in a good place where we could do it and it doesn't harm anything. And it's really good for the both of us to spend and learn and do these things. So yeah, I think we're in a good place for this. So I'm going to put this back in my notebook right here. And that is Paycheck 1. And when I close out Paycheck 1 later next week, about the same time I do a weekly check-in, so it's going to be kind of odd. I'm going to close out Paycheck 1, and then I will be setting up Paycheck 2. And that's how I do it. I close out one paycheck and go to the next. And that will be for 2 weeks. And the other one will go to the end of the month. So this is my paycheck to paycheck budgeting video. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel. And I hope you have an amazing and blessed day. I'll see you next time. Bye.